Hello students, our today's topic is composition of working population. It is a part of population composition only from the first chapter. Today only we are going to discuss about the working population or the non-working population. Now if we will divide the population according to their economic status, we will find there are three distinct groups are there. One who are the workers, one who are the non-workers. Now the workers are further classified into two groups, that is the main worker and the marginal workers. Now who are the workers? Workers are those people, those who are engaged in any economical activity. So they are economically productive. And non-workers, the opposite one are obviously a person who is not engaged in any economic activity throughout the year. Now the workers having two parts, one is the main worker, another one is the marginal worker. If a person works for at least 183 days in a year or almost 6 months in a year, he or she will be called as a main worker. And marginal worker, if a person who works for less than 183 days or less than 6 months in a year, he or she will be called as marginal workers. Now this main workers and marginal workers and non-workers, these three numbers actually affect our economy or affect any country's economy. Now it is observed that the proportion of the worker and non-worker in India, almost 60% people are non-worker in India, and the rest of the 40%, that is 39.8% population, that is a worker class in India. So by this scenario only you can get understand that the economic condition of India is not good at all, because your dependency rate is high. Now what is this dependency rate? Dependency rate means, or ratio means, the rate of working population or the ratio of working and non-working population. It is obvious if in a country the percentage of working population is less than the non-working population, then obviously the country's economic condition is not good. It indicates the economic status of the larger amount of the population of dependent population, large amount of the unemployed and underemployed people, and poor economic condition. So by the number of the main workers, marginal workers and non-workers, you can get a scenario of economic status of your country. Now the spatial variation. Spatial variation means this rate is not same in different states. They are having some differences. Like you can see the states Himachal Pradesh, Sikkim, Chhattisgarh, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Manipur, Meghalaya. In these states, larger percentage of workers are there. Among the union territories, Dadra Nagar Haveli, Daman and Diu also having high work participation rate. The meaning of work participation rate is, it is the percentage, like it is the in between the total population, how many people are working. Now you can see the proportion of the working population in the states and the union territories show a moderate variation. There is no like very high variation. That is almost 39.6% in Goa and about 49.9% in Daman and Diu. The work participation rate tend to be higher in the areas of the lower level of the economic development. This is an important word, that work participation rate is higher where the economic development is less. How is this possible? Because they want to say that the number of the manual workers are needed more in a low grade work or in a less economic developed work. So it is possible that in this sector more amount of people are working. Now the occupational structure. The occupational structure, it refers to the distribution of the working population among the different sectors in the economy. Example, some people are doing agriculture, mining, fishing, so they are doing the primary works, they are called the primary sector. Some people are engaged with the manufacturing activities, construction and all, it is called the secondary sector. And in between this primary sector and secondary sector, there is another sector, that is the tertiary sector. In this sector means these people are doing for the job, these people are going for the communication, business, this kind of the work. Now the occupational structure. The working population take part in various occupational, like I said, mainly from the fishing, manufacturing, construction and all. These all are the primary sector. Agriculture, forestry, mining are classified as primary activities. Manufacturing, secondary activities. Transport, communication and other services are tertiary activities. And we have added a new term, that is quaternary activities. These jobs are related with the research and developing ideas. So now this occupational structure is divided into the four part: primary sector, secondary sector, tertiary sector and the quaternary sector. And the proportion of working population engaged in this four sector is a good indicator of the economic development of a country. Example, suppose more people are engaged in primary activity, that means still your country is a underdeveloped or a developing country. More people are engaged in your tertiary or this quaternary sector, obviously your country is improving, because more people are working, they are getting more amount of the salary or they are getting more amount of the money by their work. Now the composition. 54.6% of the total population in India belong from the cultivators and agricultural laborers. 3.8% of the laborers are working in the household industries, and 41.6% workers are working in the non-household industries and other works, commerce, construction works and all. The proportion of the primary sector is high than the secondary and tertiary sector, but this scenario can be changed anytime and it is changing also. Now in case of the India, we have seen that male workers outnumbers of the female workers in all these three sectors. Female workers in India mainly engaged in the primary sectors, because in the village areas and all you will find most of the ladies are working in the agricultural field. But this work participation rate also has changed. Now the women's participation in the secondary sector and tertiary sector increasing day by day. Proportion of workers in the agricultural sector in India declining. Like you can see the percentage is written in the slide. The work participation rate in the secondary and the tertiary sector day by day it is increasing. It is showing a developing trend of our country's economy. Now the occupational categories. According to 2001 census, they have said about four major occupational categories. One is the cultivators, one is the agricultural laborers, one is the household industry workers and another one is the other workers. Now spatial variation of this work participation rate, all the states having different kind of the work participation rate. Like Himachal Pradesh and Nagaland have the large share of the cultivators. In these two states, cultivation is the main work. Bihar, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, West Bengal, higher proportion of the agricultural laborers. UTs like Chandigarh, Puducherry, Delhi, they are having lesser availability of the farming land, so less people are obviously working in this sector. So due to the urbanization and the industrialization, most of the people are working in a secondary and the tertiary sector. Okay, thank you.